Now walk back this way, Robert.
That's fine. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing a lot better than I thought. You got the keys to the car?
Go over to it.
I'm not marching.
Where'd you go? Have they finished or are they just
They're
leaving?
just starting.
Oh, wow.
I told them, bye, y'all have fun.
Have a good time.
Pull up a chair, Bonnie.
All right, I can put it back when I'm done with it.
Yeah, she can move it.
Get up the seat. Get up the seat.
Because Robert has Moultrie Tavern there, which is a Civil War tavern downtown, loaded with artifacts.
I'll be back.
Please.
I definitely will
It's
be back.
wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful.
The only one in Charleston.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the article which... Thank you.
Let me just be sure I'm cleared. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? Robert Warren.
Nice to see you.
Hold that picture up, Robert.
This is the 50th or the
454th.
Close up.
54th story.
Careful. It really is lovely.
Luck. You know, like anything. Luck. A good friend of mine,
Everybody thinks
dealer from Massachusetts, and I go to all the Civil War shows. And he had him in his case for about 2 months, 3 months. I've been to like 3 shows and I've just been sitting in the case.
Freddie must have fallen, eh?
some of the, I got CNN got a copy of it.
Oh, the girl?
Yeah, she
The
got
red?
the graph, right.
Oh, okay, fine, fine.
Galvin wants to get a copy.
Kim, Chris Black?
Sister.
Oh, okay, fine, fine. So you talk to him?
This guy here, he was great. I picked these up about a year ago. Very
Where?
from a friend of mine that's in Massachusetts. But I couldn't live. He was in underwear.
Yeah.
Last time Yankee saw him, when he came by the next day, he had black man, pretty black man, from the Charleston, South Carolina, the cradle of secession at that time. That's a lot of guts. Food wasn't great, the atmosphere was terrible, the climate was even worse. The environment, Vegas, brewing, battlesnakes.
That's suggested that these men had a kind of terrible death.
Conceived by our forefathers, it was regarded as an experiment, a great experiment. There was nothing in the world like it at the time, and for the most part, there's been nothing like it since. Our nation has grown to be the greatest of all nations, a powerful nation, but more important than that, a nation of extreme generosity.
Next time, come down.
The guy that killed 79 Highlanders. They were...
Could be.
What it says in the announcement.
Up front.
No.
About this girl and it 100-something years. Yeah, with the shades on, the blue shoes. Excuse me. This is funny enough.
Forward! That's me, swing this way. March! These caskets contain the remains of the men of a unique fighting force, the men of the 54th Massachusetts, the first black regiment in American history. Their remains were accidentally discovered during road construction for new home sites on Folly Beach last summer. They were brought to the National Cemetery in Beaufort today for reburial with full military honors. To Robert Bourne, the man who found the skeletal remains of the soldiers, today's ceremonial was a long time coming.
The moment that we discovered these soldiers, we wanted to see them reburied with honor, reburied in the National Cemetery here. And this is a culmination of a lifelong dream.
Reenactors in Civil War regalia were pallbearers for the fallen soldiers and carried the bones of the men who bravely fought a losing battle to their final resting place. It was a distinct honor to men who led the procession.
It makes me feel very proud to be here. We've come a long ways, and we have a long way to go. We've done the movie Glory, so thousands and millions of people could see what the black soldier did in the Civil War. What we're doing today is in honor of that.
Small Massachusetts flags were placed at the head of each coffin, while Governor Michael Dukakis gave the eulogy.
These black soldiers of the 54th and 55th Regiments of Massachusetts were fighting for their own liberty, to grasp their own freedom, and to ensure both for others of their own race.
These black American soldiers never knew the end of war or what their efforts would bring. But 125 years ago, They were part of a war that would never again cause brother to face brother, father to face son, and neighbor to face neighbor in the heat of battle. And with that assurance, the 19 black soldiers were laid to rest. In Beaufort, Franco Hunt, News 4.
On July 18, 1863, in one of the war's bloodiest battles, fought on Morris Island in Charleston Harbor. For the men of the 54th and 55th Massachusetts Regiment, getting the chance to fight was nearly impossible because none of the Northern generals or politicians thought blacks could fight. Major George Coblin's grandfather fought in the Massachusetts Regiment and survived the battle. He says today's memorial is a tribute to the bravery of all blacks in uniform.
This particular event sort of gives the final endorsement to all those disbelievers that black troops couldn't perform properly under duress or in combat situations.
Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis said the bravery was born of a desire for personal freedom as well as the hope to unify the country.
These black soldiers of the 54th and 55th Regiments of Massachusetts were fighting for their own liberty, to grasp their own freedom, and to ensure both for others of their own race. Some had been slaves, but all were heroes for their race and for their cause.
The afternoon served as a history lesson for the young and a source of pride for 20th century warriors.
It's inspiring to see all the flags in the background, and it's nice to know that they are remembered on this particular Memorial Day.
And on this Memorial Day, 19 brave black soldiers were laid to their final rest with full military honors that befit the Civil War era. The heroic efforts of the Black Massachusetts Regiment is the subject of a film called Glory, due out in December. John, Barbara?
Volunteers with the 55th Massachusetts Regiment, one of 2 black units from the northern state. The remains were uncovered last year on Folly Island off the South Carolina coast by an amateur Civil War buff.
In the process of looking for a Civil War site, we found the remains in a construction area. And I have to admit it was the most fascinating experience of my life.
The service drew a familiar face from the soldiers' home state.
These black soldiers of the 54th and 55th Regiments of Massachusetts were fighting for their own liberty, to grasp their own freedom.
It's believed the soldiers being buried here died of disease in the winter of 1863 and 64 at the Union camp on Folly's Island. They were part of the North's campaign to take the city of Charleston, South Carolina. The funeral service was conducted according to Army regulations circa 1863. Civil War reenactors lent authenticity.
I'm glad I participated in it. I just wanted to do it, and it's the proper thing to do, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to have done it.
And it is history for retired Major George Coblin, whose grandfather was the youngest member of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment.
That remembrance is going to continue, and what they fought for and the principles are enduring.
Soil from 35 states cover the bodies of the Union soldiers who now lie in the shelter of live oak trees draped in Spanish moss. Cheryl Potts, CNN, Beaufort, South Carolina.